Hi everyone, I'm here with Dan, my good friend and fellow Arsenal fan. We've just witnessed Arsenal with a very good 5-3 win against Barcelona. Tell me, Dan, what was your initial thoughts on the game?
Tired. That's what my initial thoughts are. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, there was an hour delay. Still not been
Yeah.
explained as to why there was that hour-long delay. But anyway, 5-3, Arsenal, good win, especially off the back of the Man United loss. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, a lot better performance than the Man United one. Going forward in particular, I thought the front three were excellent tonight. I really did. You know, it was a bit of a toss of a coin for who was going to get man of the match at the end of the game. And I thought Thomas Partey was controlled in that midfield really, really well, particularly in that first half. And I think defensively, Laurie, there's still some problems. And I think the individual errors at the moment are a cause for concern. They really are, you know. If you look at why we lost the league last season, you can look at a number of reasons. But for me, defensively, we weren't good enough. And we're seeing now individual errors again tonight. You know, Saliba getting beat, which is unlike him, you know, sheer pace.
He looked like he was off the pace a little bit, both mentally and physically, because he looked like he slowed down. He looked like he was very nonchalant for that first goal.
Yeah, disappointing. Great pace from Rafinha, by the way. He was a quality player. Ramsdale does well to save the first one, and then you're not going to miss the second, is he? But the free kick's disappointing. I've kind of looked a couple of times. I'm starting to wonder whether his starting position was good enough for Aaron Ramsdale, but I think it was a bit of a freak of nature for the deflection. But listen, we turned it around. We won the game. What was really good tonight, again, which has been really good for the last couple of seasons now, bounce back ability. Everyone loves that word in football, but it's been key for us because every time they were hitting, we were hitting back. And that's been really, really key and something that we've definitely improved on the last couple of seasons. Some really good performances out there tonight individually, mate. Really was.
Yeah. I've got to single out Trossard. I thought for me he was man of the match, but Saka was also very good. Timber looked good. I mean, right across the pitch, really, there were some very good performances. Lots to look forward to with optimism for the start of the season, don't you think?
Listen, that's a really good way to end the pre-season tour, to be honest. Obviously, we've got the Emirates Cup to go. We've got the Community Shield left as well. But it was a bit up and down, I would say, if I'm honest with you. A lot of people were saying that it's okay, we've only had one defeat. It's not been a horrendous or a shambolic pre-season. No, you're right, it hasn't been at all. But there's been some cause for concern in a few games. I thought today, one of the players, or two of the players I was really looking forward to watching was Kai Havertz and Jurriën Timber. And it was really interesting for me to see the left-back situation with Jurriën Timber. And I can only think that we've seen a lot of options at left-back because of Kai Havertz in this left eight. And I think Arteta's experimenting and he's looking at who's going to be best for that left-back slot. We've seen everybody actually play quite well. You know, Tomiyasu's got to go. Kivior started there. Tini's come on again today and got an assist. Obviously, Jurriën Timber started the game there. He looks very comfortable on the ball, by the way. I really liked his performance today, and I think both right back and left back now, he's looked comfortable. Can play centre back and number 6 as well. We're talking about versatility in this side at the moment, and he's certainly one of those. But for me today, the two players I have to single out, Saka and Trossard. I thought Saka in the first half was phenomenal. I don't think Alonso and Christensen really be getting anywhere near him, which I did predict at the start because I just thought that they could target that area, and that's exactly what he did. Disappointing to miss the penalty, and I think he was. You could see it in his face. That's 2 now, and he's thinking, come on. For me...
I think he also had, there was another opportunity that he had in the second half, chance that he could have got. But, you know, like you said, overall, he was very, very good today.
Yeah, he was good today. Should have kept that down in the second half as well for me. Needed to score there. Next time we get a penalty, he's got to take it and he's got to score it for me because he's got to get out of his head now, just get that confidence back. But I have to say Trossard was phenomenal, mate. I thought the second half in particular with his 2 goals, very well taken goals, which they all were tonight actually from Arsenal. But in the first half, Trossard was good as well. And for me, he took man of the match tonight. He was fantastic.
Got to say, I agree with you. I thought Trossard, as you said there, Dan, was phenomenal. And I think there are some very good signs going forward. I do agree with you. There were a couple of issues in defence. I thought all 3 goals really were preventable, to be honest. Some people might say that we're being a little bit harsh on Ramsdale for the second goal. But even so, the third goal as well, Rob Holding got caught out there. So there are things to work on. But I think overall, I think you would agree with me, it's been a successful pre-season tour of the United States?
Listen, there's enough positives to take from it, for sure. You know, going forward with scoring goals, we've got 5 against MLS All-Stars. We've now got another 5 tonight. That's really good going forward. If we can shore up defensively, individual errors need to stop. I think sometimes it's okay to do them in pre-season because they don't cost you points, cost you games. When you start taking them into the season, that's when it's a worry for it. I think defensively as a unit needs to be improved from last season, because I think that there was only Leeds and Southampton at home that conceded more than Arsenal at the Emirates. That's a worrying stat. So for me, it needs to be better defensively, and I think we'll get there. I think our strength in depth is probably the best it's ever been at the club in terms of defenders. So we've got no excuses now. We've got to make that work. But going forward tonight, very, very impressive. Few more signings needed, in my opinion. And I think we need a top window here because we're going up against one of the best sides I've seen in the history of the Premier League. And I think we'll get there. Few outgoings, I think will come next. Few incomings. And I think we'll be positive about the season, man, 100%.
Okay, thanks. Well said. And see you soon.